is closing in a couple of days, but we have been killing it inside of this program. So I'm very excited to share this training with you guys today. And then Monday, we will have our Q&A. So what is going to happen is after this training today, we will be posting a feed inside of the Facebook community that you can comment your questions on. And then on Monday for our Q&A, I go through all of the questions that is posted on that feed, and we will have a fabulous Q&A, and then we will wrap up the container. So if you are here with me live today, let me know how you are. Let me know if you're all caught up with all the training so far. And anything that you want to share that has been the biggest aha moment for you during this program, please let me know, okay? So final module today, hi Sylvie, Q&A on Monday, and then just a reminder for, what's the reminder? Oh, I mentioned this to you guys a few weeks ago. So if you joined this session of the coach program, you are automatically going to be inside the 2023 session. So that is very exciting. If you are interested in upgrading to the collective, if you're here because you bought the coach program separately, you can upgrade to the collective, and we apply your payment from the coach program to the collective if you are upgrading within 30 days. And so you can easily just reach out to the team, email or message the team, and they got your back. They'll create a customized link for you. There's a lot of things happening in the collective this month. It's like, I'm like, slow down, end of the year. I'm like, speed up. So there's a lot of things happening in the collective or this month, and the vibes are money vibes all month. I like to end the year with like the magic of money. It's a fun kind of energy to be in the end of the year. So that's what's coming up. Yes, the Q&A is 11 a.m. Eastern time on Monday, okay? So today I'm going to dive into the final training that's really gonna wrap up everything we've been talking about inside of this program. And then because we added another day, we have another person coming up for hot seat coaching at the end of this call, Emily, which is very exciting. And then we'll wrap up, and then we'll have our Q&A on Monday. So what I want to talk about today is a few different things. The first thing is putting everything that I talked about in this program together, how to actually piece it all together. And I'm going to talk to you about this in a way that is going to make your life so easy. I love to simplify things, so thank me later, because it actually gets to be this simple. So when I love easy, me too. Like, make business easy, and then I can just focus on the fun stuff. That's how I am. So when I talked to you guys about, this was on training 2, where I talked about how I come up with ideas for programs and training. So more so the topic focused things that you guys do in your coaching. So not necessarily masterminds, not necessarily one-to-one, but anything where you're teaching and you're more in like the forward energy of just talking about whatever it is that you're about. The way that I see this is all of my different trainings are pieces to the puzzle. So some of you may have heard me talk about this before, but if someone comes into your world, I want you to ask yourself this. If someone was to come into your world and hire you and work with you, what is their big main goal? What is their main goal? What is the main thing that they want to achieve? So if I ask myself this, and like, Steph, if someone wants to come into your world, like what is their main objective? Well, it's someone who wants to build their online coaching business. They want to make it better. They want to make more money. They want to be more successful. They just want to make it better. And so whatever the main goal is that someone would come into your world, it might feel broad, and it's okay that it's broad. Because even when I say like the person who comes into my world, it's a person who's building an online coaching business. Like, it's that simple, and it's quite broad. So then I'm like, okay, if I'm going to teach someone, if it's going to be me, they're going to come into my world, how am I going to teach them that? What are the different steps / what are the different pieces to the puzzle? So if that's the main goal, then you're basically going to reverse engineer how they're going to accomplish that, and how you would reverse engineer it based off of the way that you see it, the things that you know, based off of your own experience. So if I reverse engineer, someone wants to build a coaching business and make more money and be more successful, then I'm like, okay. The most obvious things that come to my mind, I'm going to teach them social media. I'm going to teach them about offers. I'm going to teach them how to sell. I'm going to teach them launching. I'm going to teach them money mindset. I'm going to teach a coach program. I'm going to teach them boundaries. I'm going to teach them, the caliber program. I'm going to teach them triple threat, all the different things, all the different pieces, how to build offers, the strategy, the mindset, the emotional intelligence, how to be a coach. It's how to do Instagram, how to do this, how to do that, all the different pieces. And all of the different pieces are all the different quote unquote steps. And they're broken down into however you want to break them down into, whether it's a group program or whether you just have enough on it for it to be a masterclass or something in between. All of the pieces are all the different steps and all the different ways that you help someone to get to their main goal. So if someone comes to you and they're like, their main goal is like they want to lose weight and be healthier, you might be like, okay, well, I got the workout thing down, and you have a workout plan. And maybe that's your main offer. But then maybe you're a fitness coach, but eventually you don't just do the programming, but you also have a course on mindset. Or maybe you also have a course on body image. Or maybe you also have a course on confidence or habits. Or maybe you also do nutrition. So you can be all of the different pieces. Or you could just be one piece and it's fine, right? So someone like me, as an example, I cover all the topics that I believe are important, and I cover all the topics that I have something to say about, right? So it's not just, I'm not just an Instagram content coach. I'm not just a sales, whatever. I'm all of it because I want to be all of it. But you might be like, I just want to be an expert in one main thing, the one piece to the puzzle, and you can have a very successful coaching business with just like one piece to the puzzle. It really depends on what you want, what you think is important, what kind of business model you want to have. And there's no right or wrong way. It's really just based off of what you want. So I think of the end goal, I reverse engineer it into topics or steps, and then those are the different offers, and those are the group ones, the programs, the master classes, those kinds of things, right? So the way then that you can start to do this is, and the thing that I love about this is, like, you can start wherever you are, right? Like you can, if you just have one main piece to someone's puzzle, then you run that program or that topic over and over again. But then what's going to happen is, as you evolve and grow, you're going to be like, I want to add a different course and a different course. So then you've got 2 courses or 3 courses. And so then you just run those. But then eventually you might have 10, 12, 15, 7, 8, a million, doesn't matter. You're going to have a lot. And then what starts to happen, and you guys, this happens very naturally, is you may have a membership, and your membership is essentially everything. Your membership can then become every piece to the puzzle. And it's just whether you do it like you get everything and instant access, or it's like a year membership of all your live stuff. And it's so easy. It's like the collective is like the puzzle with every piece. And so someone can join the big puzzle and get every piece, or someone can just join whatever piece they're most interested in. Do you see how it all comes together? This is still not even masterminds and one-on-one. This is just the topics, just the things that you're teaching. And so this is what I love, is because my business was successful. Like the first year that I did business coaching, I really only had like one main topic that I was teaching in the offers, like in the group programs, and it was successful. It worked. I ran it over and over again, a couple times. And then I was like, amazing. Then I had a new idea then I added that one in. So it was perfect because people would join the one main offer, and then I gave people like an alumni continuation option. So the people who joined one main, like the first session live, it was a win for everyone. I'm like, hey, I'm doing this again next month. Do you want to join it? And I gave them a super low rate for them to say, yeah, I'm going to do it again. And so there was a lot of returning clients, people staying in my world. And then as soon as I had another piece to the puzzle, another program, I gave my already clients an option to join that at not even a pre-sale price, but like a client rate. And so it was so easy for people to just stay in my world because I had another step and I gave them a juicy, exciting way to continue. And so I didn't even need a lot of new people. It was like I just naturally thought about it, the people in my world, what's the next step for them? And then that was the next offer, whether it was a big program or a masterclass or something in between. And so if you're not at a stage right now or yet to have a membership or you don't want to, you can still have people stay in your world by just giving special offers to current clients, or you can create bundles of your 2 programs or your 3 programs. And that is so incredible, you guys. Like my 2019, even 2020, I think I said it in here, like I had a returning rate of clients of like 80%, 90%. Like it was in like, if you use or whatever payment system you use, if it's one, but at the time I was only using PayPal. So PayPal will actually show you a statistics and it tells you returning rate, like, and it shows you, you might be blown away because I think that it's something to be said. Because I'll never forget when I saw that analytic, I was like, oh my God. And then I started to talk about it on my social media. Like there's something to be said that there's 80% return rate. Like that's a testimonial. That's a testimonial and it's a really incredible thing to have. And so there's so much power within our coaching businesses where you don't need to have 1 million people, 100 people, even 50 people. You can have like 20 dedicated people and then slowly new people come in, but you can get yourself to 6 figures, multi 6 figures with not a lot of people. Like my 2019 was a 600K year and there was not a lot of people, but there was a lot of people who came in and stayed. So something to think about. I know that oftentimes we think about more new, but you don't need to worry about that. Focus on the people that are in your world. More new will naturally come in, but it's really about people wanting to stay. Okay. So eventually it can become a membership if that's what you choose to do. Now, I know that we talked about this before, but I just want to reiterate it. Like you can create any kind of membership. Like you don't need to have a membership where you give something every month. If that's not your style, don't do it. Your membership could be, you promise 4 programs a year, 1 thing a quarter. You know what I mean? So you get to base this completely off of your energy, the way that you want to run your business, your lifestyle. Like there's no right or wrong. Just because it's a year thing doesn't need to be 12 different things a year, right? Like mine happens to be, but that works for me, but it's not the only way, right? So you can have that model and then that's incredible. So every piece to the puzzle is essentially programs and masterclasses, which is incredible. And then the way that I see the masterminds and one-to-one is just closer proximity, because masterminds and one-to-one aren't really the topics. It's about the hot seat coaching, the personalized support, the mentorship. And so if you cover the topics in your programs and your masterclasses, your, you know, whether it's passive or live stuff, and then you hold space for people to come into your world closer, it's the price goes up based off of proximity. And so then you can have higher ticket stuff with masterminds and with private coaching, however you want to, long-term, short-term, both. And that's then how the prices can increase based off of proximity and boundaries. I see it like a pyramid. And the bottom part of the pyramid, I actually include free social media. So if this is the bottom of the pyramid, the bottom is free social media, and then you slowly go up based off of how the price increases. So I'm going to offer you a mindset shift around maybe social media right here. I see my free social media, my free content as an offer. It is my coaching. My content is my coaching. It just happens to be free. And it just happens to be split up into micro pieces of content, short-term content, small pieces of content. So I see the foundation of my coaching business is our content, our brand. And that's free social media that we should be putting out every day, multiple times a day. And then it's like, if someone wants to go closer or want to go more in depth and master something, that's what's your next offer. The low cost stuff, your master classes, your passive stuff, your automated stuff, low ticket. and then it goes up a little bit and it's mid-ticket and it's your group programs, or maybe you go a little bit deeper on a specific topic, right? So I see free social media, my daily content, it costs $0. Then I see the low ticket stuff, the master classes, the automated bundles, $100, $200, $300. And then I go up and then I see every piece of the puzzle, which is one piece is like the coach program here, hot audience, right? My signature programs or the collective. And then I go up a level and it's masterminds. Go up a level, it's private coaching. So if you see your business like that, where does it all begin? How does someone get into your coaching world? Social media, the bottom of the pyramid, where most people are. And so this is where, if you are interested in creating a coaching business that is what I call it, you're an influencer coach, where you care a little bit more about your social media in the sense of you're prioritizing time and energy to creating and posting on social media just as much as you prioritize a paid coaching call. You're prioritizing growing your audience. You're prioritizing, like, you want to be known in the industry. You want to be a known expert, whether people are buying from you or not. Like, you care about your social media presence. You care about your brand. Now, the thing about this is you don't have to be social media famous. You don't have to want to have 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 200K. You don't have to want that. And you don't have to have that to create a very successful and profitable coaching business, because like I just said, you can have a small audience and people who stay in your world, they work with you for years, and that's incredible. But there are people, and I would love to know if you're in my world, it's very likely that you enjoy the social media part of it and you want to be known as the expert and known on social media and maybe off social media, and you want to have that presence and you want to have that brand. The thing about that is, one, you might just want that because you want that, like you just naturally want that. It's something that you love. Now, the thing about prioritizing your social media and your audience growth regularly is that if you really want to scale your group offers, you just have to scale your social media, because eventually the number of people in your world are the same people. So if you don't have more people coming in, then you're not going to scale your business. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was like, I love the social media aspect of it, and that's just how I'm going to be no matter what. But also, at the same time, it just so happened that I really love and I thrive in the teaching setting. And so it was like, this makes sense that I'm going to grow my audience. New people find me every day. And it's really easy for people to find me and to buy something as soon as they find me. Because yes, some people can jump into our high ticket offers as soon as they find us. There is that. But also, it's very easy for you to find someone on social media and buy their $100 thing that day, correct? That $200. I'm like, I don't know who you are, but I'll take a chance on $200 and join your, like, there's just something to be said about that. So if you love that and you want that and you really want to scale your, if you want to scale your group programs, your one-to-many, you have to prioritize your social media, you guys. It has to be a thing where you dedicate time and energy to it every day. Like, whether you plug it into your schedule, like you do a coaching call, or you just find a way to love it and you don't have to think about being consistent, you just are consistent. It is so, so, so important. So the influencer coach vibe is like, you care about the social media and you most likely have offers that can hold a lot of people. Okay. So then easily people are finding you on social media and coming into your world, and then eventually up leveling. Now, the reason that I also I highlight brand so much and social media so much is, if right now you don't care about scaling group programs, if in a year from now, and 2 years from now, and 3 years from now, you want a different business model, you're going to be so happy that you have an audience. I'm just telling you right now, you're going to be so happy that you have built an audience of people that love you, and they trust you, and they want to be in your world, because there might be a day where you don't want to be hands-on. There might be a day where you're like, everything is passive and everything is automated and everything is whatever, and you're going to be so grateful that you had built that audience. So audience is a long-term thing. Building an audience brand, it's a long-term thing. And I know that it's easy to only want to focus on short-term things, but you're going to be very happy in a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that you have that for you. Can you describe a scalable offer? What scales? So when I say scalable offer, I mean essentially that you can have an unlimited amount of people in the container. So an offer like this, a group program like this, or a masterclass where it doesn't matter how many people, because you're talking to everyone at once and it's not like personalized. So that's really scalable. Now, here's the other thing is our masterminds and our one-to-one is also scalable in a sense of when you have programs that have 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 40 people, right? Then you can increase the price of your masterminds and one-to-one, but they're still in demand because so many people want to be in your closer proximity. You know what I mean? Like it still is scalable in the sense of it's like, then eventually you just have wait lists, right? Because it's like what started to happen for me was, well, I can't do another mastermind. I can't add more people in this mastermind. I don't want more one-to-one, but I can wait list people. So it's like, then people can start buying their spots in advance, right? And so then that's still scalable, right? And so, but it's hard to create that when we're not in demand. And what I mean by that is like, if you have more space, then you always have more space, but then you're maxed out, So it's kind of like when you've got all three different types of offers working for you, it works really well. So the energy of my coaching business feels like this beautiful, and it feels so beautiful. Like I use the word beautiful to describe it, of the influencer energy of like one to many, right? What's the energy of a lot of people? Like, how would you describe that? It feels fun. It feels exciting. It feels so fun to show up when there's a lot of people. It feels like momentum, showtime. Yes, I love that. Like, it's just, there's an energy of like an audience, a community. There's something about that. And that happens in these kinds of containers for me, right? A lot, or even passive stuff. A lot of people buy the automated stuff. A lot of people buy the bundles. Amazing. But then there's another energy, and it is the higher ticket stuff, the closer proximity, the masterminds, the one-to-one. And these feel like the luxury offers because it's a different quality of container, right? These relationships to me feel like, and I would love for you to share what comes up to you when you think about your masterminds, you think about your private coaching containers. To me, these relationships feel closer, they're deeper, they're like we're doing life together, they're just more intimate. Like I know my people because we spend a lot of time together. So there's something about that. And so I really love the balance of both of these energies at the same time because I feel like it balances it all out. If I was only doing me talking to a screen every day, I would feel like that's a lot of momentum and I wouldn't feel as connected. Even though I do feel very connected in containers like this and even master classes where there's even maybe more people, like I feel very connected, but I would feel disconnected from people. And I love to feel connected to people. So then it's like in my masterminds, in my private, when I'm literally having one-to-one conversations with people and I'm talking to a lot of my clients nearly every single day, I'm like, we're so close and this is amazing. And we're having real-time conversations and like transformations are happening in the moment. It's just insane. Like there's something about that. But if I only had that, I might feel like, whew, it's a lot and it's really deep and it's a lot. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just love how the different energies of our different coaching containers balance each other out. And so there's something about that energetically for us to just think about, because there's something to be said about us feeling very balanced as coaches and mentors in our coaching business. The energy for me in one day, it's like I'm posting on social media and I'm making a piece of content for the world. Everyone can see it. I'm doing a training in a program where I'm speaking like this in a program. Then I'm sitting in Voxer having conversations with my clients who are in Voxer, like that energy feels very balanced in one day. And so just think about what you like and what you want. What kind of energy do you like to be in? What you don't like to be in? What feels too much for you? Where do you thrive? When you can find a balance like this in your coaching business, you're going to feel really good in your coaching business. And it's going to keep you activated and in the game. And that's something that I'm going to talk about in a second. Okay. Now, this was brought up a few times in this program, and then it was brought up in some of my like my private containers, and I'm like, there's always a theme sometimes in my world. It's essentially this. Why do people buy? Why do people buy from coaches? Why do people buy or not buy? When I think about whether it's some of my clients who are like really killing it, or just other coaches that I see on social media really killing it, I'm like, what? There's a common denominator, there's a common factor. And it is that person, that coach, that mentor who's selling, there's something about their life that they're also good at showing on social media that it's like, I want to be part of their life right now. It's not just, oh, they were really good at describing their offer, so I'm going to buy it, right? It's not just like, oh, their bullet points that they said about their offer is really good. Yeah, I'm going to join. Like there's something more. And it's that you can tell that that coach or that mentor, that person is just moving. They're doing things. There's a frequency of, they're in the game, they're living their life, they're moving, they're sharing their milestones, they're sharing their life, that you can just tell they're in it. And there's something about like, well, I want to be in that program because that program speaks to me, but also I want to be in that program with that mentor because, wow, it looks like they're doing something right now in their life and I want to be part of that energy now. You feel that? That is most likely why you're in my world. That is most likely why you are in the other people's worlds that you're in. Is because it's like they're doing something and I want to be in it now. I want to be in it now. There's something to be said about coaches who are living their work and they're continually doing their work. There's something about following someone who is still in the game. So do you feel like you're in the game? Do you feel like you're still doing the work that you teach? Are you living it and breathing it and sharing it? Are you still working on everything? Like the business stuff, yeah, you're here. The mindset stuff, the energy stuff, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is, but when you're still dedicated to your own growth and you're showcasing it, there's something about, I want to be in her world. Like, can you imagine? I can't imagine this. And I still, to this day, I'm doing it. Like, I can't imagine not being in my own journey and coaching. Like, I couldn't imagine not being plugged into my mentor's training still. I couldn't imagine not talking to my coach still. I couldn't imagine not, because I feel like I wouldn't have anything new or juicy or exciting to say, you know, like a conversation that was even happening in my mastermind this morning. And I said, you guys, to this day, I still feel extremely vulnerable in my coaching business. And what I meant by that is like, I'm still doing new things. I'm still trying new ways. I'm still presenting new ideas. And that's still really vulnerable for me. And I believe that a part of why I'm a very good mentor for my coaches is because, or for my clients, is because I still know exactly what it feels like to be vulnerable and to be scared shitless and to do something new and to put something out there and be scared of it not working. Like, I actually still experience that for myself every day. And so I can actually walk with a client when they're struggling with that. And it's not just like, well, in the past, this is how I did it. It's like, I still face this today, and this is what I'm going to tell you about it. There's something about that that's different. And so this is so important, you guys. And I don't say this to you so you like go and force yourself to go do something, so then that's how you get a client, because that's not the point. I want you guys to be people, if you want to be people like this, that you're like, you take your clients on a journey and you're still on the journey of your lifetime. How incredible is this, right? Like, this is the point, full circle moment. This is what I talked about on day one of like, it is your job to coach your clients. And it is also your job to continue to expand and grow. There's always something new to learn. There's always a new perspective. There's always a way to figure things out better. Like, we're never perfect. We're never done unless we just decide that we are. There's conversations being had that you don't even know exist. Put yourself in containers or trainings or rooms where it's like other people, other perspective, other ways. Like, there's an endless amount to all of this. And I think that when we can dedicate ourselves to our growth, you're never going to run out of ideas. You're always going to want to do more trainings. You're going to have a new topic. You're going to want to do it live again because you have something else to say. Like, this is the magic of it. And there's something about this. This is why there's people who are already joined year 2 in their collective. Why? Because they see that I'm still growing. They see that I have something new to say about the topics the same topics. But because I'm still learning it all and navigating it all and extracting it all, it's new for everyone. It's different for everyone. So this is why I believe in this work. It's like, it's not just you learn something and then it's done. It's like, if you continue to be better at mastering it, you have a new way to teach it. And then you're taking people on a journey forever. And that's honestly why I'm so in love with this kind of work. So there's something to be said about being activating, because you're just on your own journey and you're sharing it with the world. So this is also where, if you don't know what to post, you share about what you're doing in your life. This is where it actually just is documenting and being like, hey, I'm a coach and this is what I do, but also this is what I'm doing in my own journey. This is what I learned today. This is the conversation I had with my mentor today. This was the thing that I listened to and I listened to on a training today. Like, there's something about that is really incredible. Now, I cannot have this coach program without saying this next piece. Like, what is it? What is it? The easiest thing that you will do in your coaching business is coach your clients. It's the easiest thing, right? It's the easiest thing. Your coaching calls are the easiest thing in the world. You're good at it. You know, you are good at coaching. It's the easiest thing for you to lead a training that you're an expert in. It's the easiest thing for you to answer your clients in Voxer. It's the easiest thing for you to get on the call. That is where we thrive. That's the easiest thing. It also should be pretty easy to think of your offers and all the things. It also should be pretty easy even to sell. Now, I'm not going to get into that argument, but selling should be quite easy as well. Okay, that's easy. What is the hardest part of all of this? Navigating our own stuff, navigating putting yourself out there on social media, navigating all of the money issues, how much money you're investing, how much money you're spending, navigating people's projections, navigating your emotional intelligence, your emotional intelligence, your mindset, your confidence, navigating wearing all the different hats that you wear on a daily basis, navigating your relationship with success, navigating pressure that you're putting on yourself, navigating jealousy, comparison. Like, you know how to coach. You know what you're an expert in. You know, that's easy. What's hard is building a business and navigating all the things that come up. That's the hardest part. And so as we're building businesses in this kind of way and being coaches most of you are here very hands-on, like you're doing it in a similar way that I'm doing it. Is like you're the one on your social media, you're the one live coaching, you're bringing people in your world, and you're living life at the same time. And you're navigating how to build the business behind, like, the CEO stuff at the same time. Like, there's a lot of that. And that's the stuff that can knock you out. That's the stuff that can knock you out. That's the stuff that can knock you out. The I put out an offer and not enough people bought, so I'm out. The I thought I was gonna make 50K and I only made 20K this month, and that could knock someone out. I've literally, it makes me so sad. I have seen a client, I've seen a person that I know, love dearly, literally self-sabotage about a year and a half because they had a 6-figure month and they didn't have a 6-figure month again right after. They're amazing at what they do. They are so good at what they do. They're like, but they were so attached to needing to hit a number again, and they didn't. And they made the fact that they didn't mean something so awful about them that for like a year, that knocked them out of their power. And I'm sure you can all relate. Money, results, success, chasing, failure, happiness, this, that, like these are all the things. These are all the things. And so we're doing this in a really incredible time on social media, but we're also doing this and having to navigate our feeling on external things. Social media, numbers, audience, money, milestones, comparison, like, and so that is the work. That is the work. I believe that we can create something really incredible. Like I talked about this the other day on the industry. I think I brought it up in here in one of the trainings as well. Like I believe that like we can create something if you want to take it to this level of like celebrity status coaches. And what I mean by that is just like you're known. You're known. The world knows you and you have a platform. But what does it take to get there is all of this stuff, the emotional intelligence. What does it take to get there? Humility. What does it take to get there? Like, I'm going to do this and I might suck at it. Your relationship with failure, your relationship with happiness, your relationship with other people watching you, like this is the work. This is the work. So if you really want to play at a higher level in your business and your life, and what I mean by that is you want to build something ridiculous. Multi 7-figure, 8-figure business, like you want people to know you, you want everything and more. You get to create that. Like we can create anything in the coaching industry, literally anything. I say this with so much confidence. You can create anything you want. You can sell it and it can work. And you can build something so big for yourself, for your family, for your life, for your team, everything and beyond. But the bigger that you want something, the higher the level you want to play at, the more emotional work that I believe we need to do. The more self-love work, the more happiness work, the more emotional intelligence, the more mindset. That is the work. That is the work. That's why I still stay plugged into mentorship. That's why I work with clients who are making millions and they still want to have mentorship, is because it's not about you just make money and then you're done. It's like there's another evolution to it all. So the work is not just to coach. The work is to navigate all the other pieces. And so where you're at right now, what are the pieces that you need to start working on another level to take you to your next level? What does that look like? And this will look different for everyone. Is it, hiring that one-to-one coach, you can actually be supported on a more intimate level? Is it stepping into that mastermind where you're actually beside people who activate you? Like, what is it? Is it just another program? Is it just like, it's something? I believe in mentorship. I believe in staying plugged in. And I believe like there is no glass ceiling to not just the tangible results, but like who we become in all of this. And I think that if we can see it as like, this is the most empowering thing in the world, then it's always done from a very empowering, abundant mindset, not from a place of lack. I was even having a conversation with one of my private clients yesterday about like, she's been with me since I want to say July. And she's like, I never even knew that these kinds of conversations existed. Like, obviously she knew because that's why she came in, but it's like, I can't, I can't even imagine my life without these kinds of conversations. Like the people, the normal people in my life, like we don't have these kinds of conversations. Like, holy crap, like I value this so much. Like I don't want to not have this, you know? So it's like you're doing something that only a small amount of people can understand exactly what you're doing. And so whatever that means for you to stay plugged into that, to those conversations, to that energy, to those coaches, to those mentors, like those people who actually get it, who are the ones actually doing it too. Like there's something about that. I couldn't imagine not even leading the mastermind that I have now. I'm like, I couldn't even imagine not doing life with my people in my mastermind. I'm like, how do we do life without talking every day? Like there's something about that. And it's the magic of the kinds of conversations that are had in many spaces. And so on the module where I did talk a lot more about masterminds, get yourself in a mastermind. Whether it's a 1-day mastermind or a 2-day, like when you step into a space with other people, there's conversations that you don't even know exist, and those conversations can change your life. There's something about that. There's just something about it. And I think that 1, you're going to open yourself up to incredible conversations, but 2, just being in them will make you a better mentor. I see my clients in my masterminds level up their mentorship skills the moment they come into a mastermind chat. Most of you probably see this, they're like, oh my God, this is how I can communicate better. This is how I can have better boundaries. This is how I can, all the things, like it just, there's something about it. There's just something about it. Right? Yes. And Marilyn was on Monday, and she just posted in the collective, like she came in activated, which is like the hybrid. After 1 call, she was like, I just decided that I'm allowed to be here. I see myself here. I'm not going to judge what kind of questions are good or bad. I'm just here. And then she joined my higher level container for the new year. And it's just like, we tend to do this with containers. Who am I to be in that mastermind? Who am I to join their private coaching? Who am I to even buy their whatever? Like we judge ourselves. No one's telling you that you can't be in the spaces. You have to decide to be in the spaces. And that is such a mirror for our own leadership as a coach in our spaces, right? On our social media, in our coaching businesses. And so the way that we are clients is such a mirror for how we are as a coach. And so I think that it's really intertwined. And I also know when I do the next session of this program, I'm going to have trainings on how to be a better client, because it's such a mirror for how we are better coaches and better leaders. Okay. The 2-minute rule has made me a better communicator. Yes. And it's like, but not just in this mastermind with me, but it's for you when you give responses to your clients. Potent, boom, done. Right. And so, but then that's the ripple of that is you modeling that to your clients. Like, oh, they see how you communicate, and then they communicate better in your container and in their lives. So the ripple of all of this is just incredible. So yes, the coach program is like how to take your magic and share it, and how to create it and put it into different offers. And that's the easy part. The hard part is navigating everything else. So stay plugged into whatever this means for you, of your own personal development, your own support system, your own whatever person, mentor, coach, partner, friend thing, whatever podcast that holds you to a higher standard, to stay positive, to stay in your lane, to stay connected to your truths, to stay connected to why you're doing it in the first place, or else things like jealousy or comparison or worthiness or money mindset will knock you out. You're meant to share your work with the world. You have something very incredible to share, and there's no question about that. But the thing that will knock you out is all the other stuff. So do the work to set yourself up to stay in your power, so you can trailblaze and share your work with the world. Like that's what we need. And so there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to change the world, but we can't let the other things knock us out. And I mean, I come every training inside of this program, there's a new iteration to all of this work. I'm still doing the same things. There's another level of confidence. There's another level of trust. There's another level of all of it. And so I say it all the time. I have no fear for you. If you stay plugged in, you stay supported, you ride the ups and the downs, we got this. Okay. So we're going to bring on Emily, and we'll have that piece before we close today's training. Just to reiterate, before we bring on Emily, we're going to put a Q&A thread in the Facebook group, and then Monday will be a Q&A. So go crazy with all the questions. The Q&As in my world are usually really good training. So we will most likely be covering a lot based off of, I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of really good questions from this program. And so that will be one training. If there's a lot and it needs to be a separate one, we'll do an extra Q&A as well, but that will be that. And then we'll wrap up the program. So Emily, I'm very excited. I know Emily, I love Emily, but Emily, come on up and you can just share who you are, what you do, introduce yourself to everyone, and then we can dive into your question, your topic that you want to get support on today.
Awesome. Hi, Steph. It's so good to be with you in this way. I am a little sick, but I am here. And I am a dietitian, PCOS lifestyle coach. I've been in Steph's world for a while and have had explosive social media growth since then, which is awesome. I love my business. This is year 3. So this has been the most trying year for me. Yes. And do you want me to get into my topic?
Yes.
Okay. So when you were talking, actually, I couldn't really articulate what it was, but you articulated it, which is that I am the person who's been knocked out of my power. And life has been challenging lately. It just has been. And so I find that I'm very hard on myself, and I'm just struggling to get momentum going again. I'm ready for it, and I've recognized that I've needed this space to really figure out how I want my business to look like. And now I have great ideas and I'm ready to execute, but I've been really struggling with sales, and then I'm telling myself stories about why people aren't coming into the programs. And then it's taking away from me wanting to get up and sell. And so I'm just in this weird spot of okay, nobody's joining this program, and then I lose momentum and I don't want to do it anymore. And it's just making me nervous.
Okay.
So yeah.
You know what? I feel like a lot of people are feeling this lately. So you're definitely not alone. I do even see people nodding their head. So you're not alone. There's a few things. When I'm in this situation, it's kind of what is your path of least resistance to creating momentum? It's could you do something that it's I know that this will be so easy. This is no brainer. This is easy for me to sell. It's easy for me to do, just to get yourself back in the game. And it could be a crazy sale or discount on something, and it's just a one-time intensive. It could be the lowest cost ever masterclass. It actually doesn't matter what it is, but it's something that you are just this is so easy. This is so good. Yes. And then you get on the call or you do the training, and there's just something about being back in it that will bring your momentum back in general for everything else. Sometimes we get to do that. And I think, I'm not saying that you have done this, but I see a lot of coaches judge themselves of yeah, but I shouldn't be doing a low cost thing, or I shouldn't be discounting this or that. And I'm you know what? Just do something to get yourself back, to get on a call, to do something. So then it's yes, okay, people are there. But it's not even that people are there, but it's to just get on a call. Anytime I'm in a funk and I get on a training, I'm out of the funk. So it's just something to bring yourself back into the game. Even if it's a free live stream, even if it's a free offer, free hot seat coaching on Friday afternoon, how fun would that be? You get to connect with your people, you get to shine, you get to help, you get a million ideas. I think that will connect you back to the magic. And then you go back to regular programming and show yourself who you are and sell all the things. There's something about that. But when we're in a funk, and we get out of it, we sometimes lose our confidence. So we have to just do something. So then it's like, I have to show myself that I'm good again. What can I do?
Yeah, that's so true. Because I had that kind of intuition, actually. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go live every day or like just do something to kind of pull me out of it. Um, but then there's like this voice in my head that's like, well, you shouldn't have to do that, like you're not at that stage. But and also I think I still struggle with that fear of giving too much. And like and I know it's not logical, but I'm like, oh, like something you said during the coach program where you were like talking about coaching in your content. I
Mhm.
struggle with that. I still feel like this scarcity around it. And it prevents me from being consistent, like giving.
And what's the fear? If you give too much in your content, then what?
Then people won't join.
Okay. But people aren't joining now
Yeah.
anyway.
Yes,
So, I
correct.
mean, it's a scare. It's the way that I see my content. And Emily, also your content is blowing up. And I know that you love content, but the way that I see it is like, I want people to come to my page and be like, I get so much value. But I don't believe that that takes away from people buying my stuff. I think that it enhances it more than anything. But you have to show yourself that that's not true. You know what I mean? Like, you have to show yourself that you can give value and people still are going to buy.
Mhm. Yeah. And I follow coaches and absorb all of their free value and then join their things. And I'm not joining honestly because of the information most of the time. But I still struggle that, oh, like in the I always kind of compare still, this is the nutrition space. And then I almost end up viewing my potential clients on like a lesser playing field than me. And I don't really know why that happens, but I guess I just feel um like I'm different because I'm a coach and I'm like investing in business coaching and there's a financial outcome that it's not going to be the same in the nutrition space. Yeah.
Well, this is where I truly believe that we're changing the paradigm for investing in ourselves in general. Like, in the sense of, like, I believe that because of the online coaching space, I believe that people want to spend more money and invest more in their nutrition, in their fitness, in other things. Like, I believe that people want to spend money because it's you. I believe that. So it's like,
Yeah.
you have to believe that as well, or work on that belief, because that's what you're creating. You're creating a personal brand where you not only help people with their nutrition, but you're the one. They want to
Hmm.
choose you. They want to invest in themselves. Like, I believe that we're changing the paradigm of what it means to invest in ourselves across the board, not just for business coaching, but for any kind of niche. But like, we have to be the ones to create that.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I made one post that was talking about investing and it didn't get a lot of likes, but it had like a surprising amount of saves. And I've hesitated to like make additional content around that because I think with my page, it's very clear what I know about and what I talk about and what I share about, but I don't feel like it's as clear that it's a business. And I struggle with that kind of like merging of, yes, I'm helping people and it's health, but this is also a business. Like I don't know why. I just struggle to talk about that concept of like investing in yourself because I don't want it just to feel like unaligned with what I'm doing.
Well, this is where I think you have to decide. It's like, are you a nutrition profile where it's like just about nutrition and it's done and people can come and get tips? Or is it like, I'm Emily and I have a business, I'm an entrepreneur, I sell offers, people come into my world at different price points, I invest in myself, I talk about business, I talk about money and investing in yourself and being committed. Like, I'm about all of it. Do you want to be that, or do you just want to be where it's just about nutrition?
No, I definitely want to be the first one. But it's been really hard for me to do that. I think I'm just so worried about like other people in the medical community judging me. And that's the big block that I have to just like, even though they're all supportive and they love it, and I have to get over that, I think. But there's always like that one comment that you think about, that one person who's like, how could you charge, like, because sometimes lately I've just been dropping the price for my things on my content, on my feed content, and people are like, how could you charge that? That's that's horrible, and things like that. And I'm like, it's not, it's, you don't
Yeah.
have to work with me.
But this is why, I mean, this is why, you guys, it's like, this is the flip side of being on social media, is because there's going to be people who say that and believe that, but like, they're not your people, or they don't see it this way yet. And I don't think that it's our job to justify or explain, but I get it, because when you see the comments on your profile, it makes you feel like crap. But it's
Mhm.
like, this is where I think we have to remember that we're the pioneers in this kind of thing. And if like, it's not just nutrition, it's like investing in yourself, it's money mindset. People don't even know what that means. So the people who make those comments have no context. And so like, the flip side of this is we have to be okay that some people don't get it. Like when my reel went viral in the summer of me buying Eric a truck, like I went through like a week of like the most awful comments around money and all these things, but I had to remember that these people had no context of who I am and what I do and the kind of space that we're in. Like, they're people who don't even know what money mindset is. They're people that don't even, you know what I mean? So it's like, would I have let those people knock me out and be like, oh, I can't talk about money anymore because these people don't get it? They don't get it. We are the ones who trailblaze. We're the ones who do it for the people who do get it, or the ones who want to get it.
Mhm.
Like, there might be a day in a year from now where someone who comments, I can't believe that you charge $300, and a year from now that person will come back and be like, I'm so sorry I made that comment. I continue to follow you, and I bought your thing and you changed my life. I'm so happy. And they're going to be like your high ticket paying client. Like, that's what I believe. It's
Yeah.
people's projections, it's people's, they don't get it, and that's okay. But if that one person knocks you out from selling something, that can't be the story.
No, it can't be. And yeah, I think it's been a rough social media year, and I didn't realize it was going to impact me in that way. And it's so funny because like I like craved all this growth, and I gained 30,000 people in less than 3 months. And then I haven't really grown it since because I'm like terrified. Because I feel like I'm selling, and the more people that are watching me sell, it gives me anxiety. So yeah, but you're right. I mean, I just have to do it. I just have to not care.
So
Um,
this is where, I mean, it's easier said than done to just not care, but this is
Mhm.
where it's like, I want more people following me. Okay, 30,000 people in a couple months. Okay, now I'm terrified to sell. So it's like, now I need now it's looking at, what is the fear around selling in front of people? What is the fear? That they are mad that you're charging a rate, that they're mad that you're selling, that there's people just watching you sell and they're not buying. Like, what's the resistance?
I think it's partly judgment around me putting out these offers and just putting the price right in my stories, which is very unusual in like the health space, I think. And then also I think just like, I guess it's a little bit like I have a little bit of like, oh, are people going to see that people aren't joining? And then I don't know, I'm a loser.
Oh my God. This is the word, like, you went from people are watching, how many people are buying or not buying, and based off of how many people are buying or not buying, all of a sudden you equal loser. See, but this is what I'll say right here. One of the hardest things that I have navigated this year is exactly that. In the sense of, I have a fear. I made this up in my mind. No one has ever said this to me. I have a fear that people watch me, and if I don't keep making more, people are going to be like, oh, well, she sucks.
Hmm.
So I get it. And there have been times where I didn't keep selling because of fear. If I keep selling and it doesn't work, then people are watching me sell and it's not working. That's embarrassing.
Right.
So I get it. But the same thing that I'm telling you here is what a conversation I had with myself is like, I made this up in my mind. One, no one has ever said this to me. I made this entire situation up in my mind, but also two is, am I going to let this stop me here? Is this where it ends for me? Is this where my coaching business ends? And like, oh, I stopped because I think people are watching and judging. Like, is that where it ends? No, that's not where it ends. This is not where it ends for you. You know, and so I get it, because more people watching, more pressure, whether it's our own stories or actual pressure from people, I get it. But it's like, we have to find a way to do it for us no matter what, in the sense of like, I do this for me, I believe in my work, so if people are actually watching and judging, whatever, I'm doing this for a bigger purpose. That's what I say to myself. If the worst case scenario is that someone's watching and judging, and they watch and they judge, are you going to be okay? Yep. So I might as well do it. Like, bigger context is going to help you here. Bigger context.
Yeah.
The other, I just want to share this with you as well. I don't know how you feel about this, but what if you make a post and it's like, one of the things that I'm navigating right now is like, my profile has grown and I love you guys that you're here. I'm so glad that you love my content, but also I'm building my business and it's like, I have all these fears and these, like, what if you're just honest with your audience and you're just vulnerable? Like, there's something about that of you just saying like, this is who I am and this is what I do on this page. And like, also, I love you and I love that you're here. My social media has grown, but behind the scenes of navigating with this, like, I just feel like telling the story, people can understand that might be freeing for you to share.
Yeah. I feel that. Because I think I struggle with that. I struggle with wanting to always appear like I have it all together, because God forbid I don't, then how could I be a nutrition coach, right? So,
But I think that people would love you more.
really?
Yeah. Like anytime I'm vulnerable, people are like, oh, I love you so much more. Oh, thank you. Like, I'm like, oh, so let me just share all the shit. No, but really, but this is what I mean by when I say like, you're on your own journey. You're the expert in nutrition and people know that. But when they hear the Emily of like, also I'm navigating this and I'm building this business and oh my God, this is coming up and these are my fears. People are like, wow, I resonate with this. I empathize with you. They feel more connected. We don't have to share everything. We don't have to share things that we don't want to share. We don't feel comfortable, but there's just something about like, yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm on my own journey. I'm working around this. Like, I really think that there's something about that. And I think that it's freeing, because then we never have to feel ashamed or hiding things, because it's like, I'm doing my own work here. I'm really amazing at what I do, but also I'm doing my work over here. Like, there's something about that.
Yeah. You're so good. Because that's exactly what it is. I feel like my business is stifling right now because I'm not allowing myself to just be me, because last year was just like, I'm flying, I'm making 375K, like what a great year, blah blah blah. And then like this year, I'm like, I don't know who I am. I'm having an existential crisis, but at the same time, I'm like, I've done great things at the same time. Like I'm becoming a mindfulness teacher, like through Brown, and I'm like doing really good things. But the personal growth, like I think you're right. Maybe I do need to be honest about all of this.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think what happens is this, and I've seen this happen to many people. It's like, it's easy to trailblaze when it's all good. Like, yeah, I'm killing it. It's so good momentum. And then when we try and do it again, it's almost like pressure, more eyes. How do I do it? Oh, and then all the stuff comes up, the comparison, the jealousy, the judgment, the projection, the whatever. And then it's like, but how am I now? Right? How can I show up when I'm navigating these things? But this is where I believe that you are doing the work and you're working through this, but it's easier to not. It's easy to be like, it's hard, I'm out. It's hard, I'm out. But if you find your next level of trust, confidence, power, all these things based off of what you're going through this year, you're going to be a better mentor, coach, leader, CEO, everything because of it. So on the back end of you navigating all of these things is going to be the biggest growth, personal, financial, business, everywhere. But you have to just stay connected to like, I'm going to do the work and be vulnerable. It gets to grow as you're still working on the things. And that's the beauty of this, is like, we get to still always be a work in progress, and the business gets to grow at the same time, but not if we're ashamed, and not if we're hiding it, and not if we're, you know what I mean? Like, not showing up out of all these things. So it's like, can you do the work and stay plugged in at the same time?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Stephanie.
You're welcome.
That was a different answer than I was anticipating. And I think that's like such it's so obvious though, because that is the feeling. There's just a lot of shame. So
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome. And I mean, I love you, Emily. I love you so much. And I completely understand what you're going through. And I feel like you bringing this up through the comments that I see on the Zoom, like a lot of people can resonate. So thank you for being vulnerable and having this conversation in front of everyone. Like, it's very helpful for everyone involved. So you guys, like, this is the work, in the sense of like, it's easy to be an expert in what we're an expert in, but it's hard to navigate all of this. And these kinds of things don't come up until they come up. We don't know what it feels like to be seen until we have 30,000 people overnight watching. We don't know our relationship with results or money or things until we start to sell shit on the internet. And then it's like, we look at money, we're like, we don't know what it feels like. We don't know what comes up until it comes up. And so a lot of the times we're not prepared for a lot of these things. And then the work becomes, now I'm in it, how do I deal with it when I'm in it? And I'm still trying to do the things and grow a business and navigate all the stuff that's coming up. And it's like, this is just the work. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. And I believe in duality, in the sense of like, I believe that I can be working on whatever it is that I need to work on and still have success and growth in the business. So this is a mindset thing too for everyone, of like, you get to be struggling and succeeding at the same time. But if you don't believe you can, then you won't. Like you can have a really bad personal year, but still stay plugged in and it be great in your business. You know, I don't believe we have to be perfect, high vibe, all the things. I believe we can be a work in progress, you know? And so that mindset for me has changed everything for me, because I go through shit every day, but I don't make it mean that it can't work. I'm just like, I'm going to work on it, and it's going to grow at the same time. And then you become someone who is just resilient. And then there's a new level of leadership and trust and power and all the things. So this conversation makes me not want to finish this program. I'm like, let's just stay in this program forever. Like, this is so good, because this is what it's about, you guys. And I know that you guys can feel this, because this is just what it's about. So, you know, you guys that are here, I know that you guys are people who are doing this. It's like, if you're plugged in, you're doing the work, you're self-aware, you're noticing what is not good, you're leaning into support, you're doing what you can, you're building your business, you're coaching your clients, you're taking care of your family, you're doing everything, you're doing a lot. And you're already doing more than what most people would even consider doing. So remember that, like, we hold so much in one day, we navigate so much in one day. Like, it is more than what most people can dream of. And that in and of itself is so huge, and something to be proud of. So we're going to wrap up this call. Even though I don't want to, I want to just like keep having a conversation with you guys, but we're going to wrap up this call. That is training 8, the wrap up of the main modules inside the session of the coach program. Like I said, we are going to put a feed inside the Facebook group for the questions. And then Monday, the live Q&A is at 11 a.m. Eastern time. The event is in the Facebook group, and you will get all the Zoom information just as it is for every other training. We'll do our Q&A on Monday, and then we will close the container. I will see you guys. We are doing Reframe. I have a big masterclass for you guys tomorrow. So those of you who are in the collective or you joined Reframe separately, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then I'll see you guys on Monday. I'm sending you all so much love. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.